Hran, Hrim, Hrom, Saha, Suryaya Namaha. Like we had previously a series of videos about the moon and its lunar phases, now we are starting a new series of videos about the sun. And sun in Vedic astrology is also very important, Sun is called Aditya, the powerful one. And sun is also the illuminator, of the world. He's the giver of light. He's the giver of intelligence. He's also the giver of wisdom. And sun in Vedic astrology has 12 different manifestations, which are shining in 12 different months, And these 12 different manifestations of sun god are associated with the sun dwelling in one of the 12 zodiac signs. And these 12 Adityas is going to be our main topic of our new series of videos because they are really interesting and really important. And once you look, at your own birth chart from the perspective of your sun or from the perspective of your Aditya, so the form of the sun god presiding over your birth chart, you're going to really see many other things, and you will see that, the sun literally, illumines the truth about you. So 12 Adityas in Vedic astrology are Dhata, the creator, Aryaman, the god of sacred contracts or sacred partnerships, Mitra, the god of friendship, Varuna, the god of healing, Indra, the chief or the king of heavens, Vivaswan, who is the god of sacrifice, Pushan, the god of finding your true path or your true way, Parjanya, the god of rains, Amshuman, the god of righteousness or justice, Bhaga, the god of prosperity, Twashtar, the divine architect, and Vishnu, the divine sustainer. So these 12 Adityas and their names, they come from Srimad Bhagavatam, but you can also find them mentioned, all over the Rig Veda or other Vedic scriptures. And when it comes to 12 Adityas, there is a little bit of confusion about them because different scriptural sources give different order of the Adityas, sometimes different names of the Adityas too, and sometimes, even the number of the Adityas is different. So this is a little bit confusion, happening here. But this exact system from Srimad Bhagavatam I used in my personal astrology practice, and it really seems to give really good results. And there is also a little bit of confusion, like how to even calculate the Adityas or the 12 Vedic signs or the 12 Vedic rashis, specifically solar signs. So some astrologers even say, which even is a little bit logical, that we should actually use tropical zodiac for Sankrantis or for rashis or for Adityas, because tropical zodiac is, strictly connected to the movements of the sun and nothing else. While sidereal zodiac is more connected, it's just based on the fixed stars. So I'm personally using sidereal zodiac, in my astrology practice, but obviously you're free to use any other system you're using and simply check, what works better. For me, sidereal really proved to work very well, even for Adityas or for 12 rashis too. And there is also, one little thing, because in Srimad Bhagavatam it's actually said that you are not calculating sun, the Adityas, so the sun gods presiding over exact signs or exact period of time by the fact, like how long the sun dwells in each rashi. You should actually calculate it based on Vedic months, so from new moon to new moon. So you can see, that there is a little bit of confusion around the topic of Adityas, and there are many different ways to approach them and many different ways to approach the topic. I don't want to, to impose my own understanding on you. I would just like to share with you what seemed to work for me, and you are the one, who is supposed to use your own intelligence here and see what works for you. So if you, by any chance, read my previous ebook, Discovering Universe, you might know that each zodiac sign is also connected with one of the chakras. One of the chakras in our energy body. So we have 6 main chakras, as many of you probably know, and the 7th one, which is called Sahasrara, which is, let's say, beyond human experience. So 6 of these chakras are connected to 12 rashis, 2 rashis per one chakra. And also each of the Adityas, or the sun-gods, presiding over different solar months and different rashis, they will also illuminate, or give more light to each of the chakras, right? So for example, right now, Sun is in the sign of Aries, inside the real zodiac, okay? Sun is exalted. And sign of Aries inside the real zodiac is connected to Manipura chakra, to the chakra of our willpower, taking action, creation, So also our Manipura chakra becomes more illumined, there's more light in it, and it's also stronger. So just to quickly, show you how it looks like, how the chart with superimposed chakras would look like. So here you have traditional South Indian chart, and these 2 signs, governed by Saturn, Capricorn and Aquarius, they are connected to Muladhara chakra. These 2 signs, which are connected to Sagittarius, which are Sagittarius and Pisces, connected to Jupiter, this is Swadhisthana chakra or sacral chakra. These 2 signs, ruled by Mars, Scorpio and Aries, are connected to Manipura chakra. These 2 signs, Libra and Taurus, ruled by Venus, they are connected to heart chakra. These 2 signs, Virgo and Gemini, governed by Mercury, they are connected to throat chakra, the chakra of communication. And these last 2 signs, governed by Sun and Moon, so Leo and Cancer, are connected to our Ajna chakra. And this model, of the signs, this knowledge was given to us by Sri Yukteswar Giri, who was himself a self-realized master. So it's really fascinating to actually observe the entire birth chart from the perspective of the chakras. And one thing which is actually really interesting here, because even if you look at the model of this exact chart, and if you think about the movements of the sun, we are saying that the movements of the sun are basically speaking Uttarayana, so the northern movement of the sun. So traditionally, it would happen right after winter solstice, when sun starts to have more and more light. While southern movement of the sun, opposite movement of the sun, happens after summer solstice, when we have less and less and less light. So traditionally, we were saying, even though now solstices are falling in completely different part of the zodiac, and hence the confusion between tropical and sidereal zodiac, but traditionally Uttarayana would start actually in the beginning of Capricorn. So it would go from Muladhara chakra up all the chakras here, and then when it reaches zodiacal Ajna chakra in Cancer, the Dakshinayana would start. So it's literally, like the sun moving on the sky is just pulling your energy up during Uttarayana, which is why most probably, Uttarayana was considered so auspicious, for everybody, because our energy goes up during this time. While from Cancer would start Dakshinayana, when the energy goes down the chakras. And even understanding of the gunas connected to the rashis becomes much more easier, when you look at this model, because here, as you can see, Rajasic rashis, so from Aries to Cancer, over these rashis, our energy just goes up, right? It goes from Manipura chakra to Ajna chakra. And when Tamasic rashis start, so from Leo to Scorpio, our energy goes down. So that's the guna of tamas, when you go down. And then, here, where Sattvic rashis, so from Sagittarius to Pisces, our energy is just balanced. So that's the actual guna of sattva. And one really fascinating thing and fascinating sentence which I noticed, I believe it was in Brihat Samhita, that they mentioned that originally, actually Uttarayana started in Dhanishta. So you see right in the middle of zodiacal Muladhara chakra, while Dakshinayana would start actually in Magha. So it would start right here in the sign of Leo. And this is something really fascinating, because First of all, it's very possible that really in the past solstices and all equinoxes were exactly in those places. But one other interesting thing about it is that it really reveals us like what was even the purpose of original zodiac. It was all about this movement of solar energy and how it influences our chakras too. So just from these movements of the sun through the zodiac and through the 12 changing Adityas and 12 changing zodiac signs, we can learn so much more, and you can learn so much more about your chart. Like in Srimad Bhagavatam, you have even, listed Apsaras, Gandharvas, rashis, yakshas, nagas, which are also, presiding along with this form of sun god over exact month and giving, it some exact quality. So this is really, really fascinating knowledge and very ancient one. And it's really a pity that we don't use it even so much in Vedic astrology, because originally in Vedic astrology everything was perceived as a part of the divine, as a part of God, So whenever we would see the sun, he was connected to 12 Adityas, to 12 different powerful gods who bless us with some exact talents and some exact blessings. So now sun is exalted in the sky. This is why we are starting this series of videos. And very soon we are going to make very first video on Dvadashaditya, the one presiding on the sign of Aries, and this exact season, which is it now. So very soon it's going to happen here, it's going to appear here on our YouTube channel. And if you would like, to subscribe to our channel, you can also do that in the link below. So thank you so much for your attention today, and see you next time. Namaste.